Hey, this is Jacob Kelly, one of the Duke Cardiology Fellows. I'm here with the DCRI Cardiology Fellows blog and with Drs. Chris Granger and Jamie Jollis. So, Dr. Granger, tell us about your recent program in this STEMI Accelerator trial.
So thanks, Jake. And in fact, this is a great thing for the blog because Duke Fellows have been so involved. In fact, Matt Sherwood did a terrific job presenting this program. And we're really been delighted at the fellow contribution and at the overall results of this program. And so this is really taking the concept of one of the places it began was Duke Hospital with the RACE program, and then North Carolina, and then that fed into Mission Lifeline, the American Heart Association program. And then we recognized, including with Mamie Reddick and the team at the DCRI, we recognized that there was an opportunity to take what was being done in Mission Lifeline and find regions, not just hospital systems, but whole regions, and go in and work with them to establish data collection and feedback and interventions to implement proven ways to improve reperfusion care for STEMI. And it was an ambitious program. This is 16 metropolitan regions around the U.S., 484 hospitals, 1,300 EMS agencies, 23,000 STEMI patients. So this is a big, big program. And Jamie can tell us about the results.
Great, Chris. And I'm also a Duke Fellow, and now I have a full-time job, having finished my fellowship. And this whole program came out of the fellowship, actually. It was your job as that fellow. You were manning the hospital, you were the senior person there. STEMIs were coming in, you had to take care of them. It took a lot of coordination. And thanks to those many hours staying up and hard work, this STEMI Accelerator program came to be. Our findings, the main thing is looking at first medical contacts when that call comes into the CCU, in this case is the paramedic or that first hospital, to device time. National goals, 90 minutes coming to PC hospital, 2 hours in transfer. And across every measure, we saw the percent of patients being treated with guidelines goals improving, somewhere modestly in the 3 to 5% increased rate of overall. But in some regions, we saw increases as much as 20%. So huge variation in some very successful regions. And that's partly because this is an 18-month intervention. We fully expect over time other regions will continue to increase those numbers. Other things to emphasize, it's kind of surprising actually, but symptom onset to first medical contact is only 47 minutes, or 47 minutes. That's much shorter than we ever thought. People are coming in early.
And that shows, Jamie, that there's a real opportunity then, that a modest improvement in time for the early presenting patient makes a big difference in survival.
Yeah, just following that Duke model, Reimers and Jennings, that ischemic model when the dog really is true, we looked at survival according to time in the ED. And that's a reflection of coordination between that paramedic and the cath lab. And we found when ED times were short, so they were coming in, cath lab's ready, less than 30 minutes, the mortality was in the 3.5% range. When ED times were long, just over 45 minutes, mortality was up towards the 10% range. These are some of the biggest differences I've ever seen. We put it in a model adjusted for everything, cardiac arrest, shock. We know it's still confounded with you're busy dying, that's why you're down there a long time. But that difference persisted, showing that time is important, and more importantly, you have to be right out front and coordinate that care to have the best outcomes. And then finally, numerically, compared nationally to our accelerator sites, we do see mortality is dropping more so in our sites than it is nationally.
And Jamie, maybe I could just remind people that acute MI, the acute manifestation of the #1 cause of death in the world, reperfusion therapy, timely reperfusion therapy, the most important way to improve survival. And so this is an incremental program, but what's impressive about it, we think, is that it's really going to a huge scale and showing that this kind of program can make a big difference, and especially, overall made a difference. We think that's impressive, but in the regions where there were big differences, then that shows that it really can be done. It demonstrates that regionalization of care is possible, and it can make a big impact.
And then Duke Fellow powers. So we had Akshay Bagai, who did our original papers that got things going. We had Chris Fordyce, who's on the phone with the hospitals getting our survey answered. It's just, Duke Fellowship is so important to our program.
I think we have time for one more comment. How do you think this is going to be taken up in the community, and how quickly?
Well, in fact, it's great that we're at the American Heart Association, because the other thing which Jamie mentioned is this is a partnership with the American Heart Association. Elliot Antman, the current president, strongly behind this. So the American Heart Association behind this, and Jamie is the current chairman of the advisory working group of Mission Lifeline. This demonstration project then we will promote as something that's a good thing to be doing for regions around the country.
And I think you'll find, looking at guidelines, about half actually come out of Duke work. And the guideline about time to treatment literally came out of our original work in the RACE program. And this really is having impact, and well beyond cardiology, to paramedics, to hospitals, communities, to literally 24,000 people with STEMIs in over a 18-month period.
Well, gentlemen, I think this was a very challenging project. I think it's got big implications for practice, and I really thank you for sharing the results of the trial with us. Again, this is Jacob Kelly with Doctors Granger and Jollis. Thanks for following us. For more blogs and interviews, see Duke Cardiology Fellows blog. Thank you.